Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Listening Practice Hub. My name is Emma, and I am very happy you are here with me today. In this episode, we are going to walk together through one of the most famous books about success and money. It is called Think and Grow Rich, and it was written by Napoleon Hill. But today, I do not want to teach this book like a teacher. I want to tell it to you like a story. A long, calm, deep story. A story about how your thoughts, your desires, and your beliefs can slowly change your life. This is part one of our six-part journey. In this first part, I will tell you who Napoleon Hill was, how this book was born, and why everything begins with one simple thing: desire. Not a soft wish. Not a lazy maybe, but a burning desire that lives inside you and refuses to die. So, find a comfortable place. Maybe you are walking. Maybe you are sitting on your bed. Maybe you are washing dishes or looking out of a window. Wherever you are, take one deep breath in and slowly breathe out.
Now, let me take you back in time.
Imagine a young journalist many years ago. His name is Napoleon Hill. He does not come from a rich family. He is not a famous writer yet. He is simply a young man with curiosity in his eyes and questions in his heart. One day, he receives a special assignment. He is asked to interview one of the richest men in the world at that time, a powerful man from the steel industry. Andrew Carnegie. Hill travels to meet him. He is nervous but excited. He does not know that this meeting will change his entire life. He does not know that it will also change the lives of millions of readers in the future. He arrives at Carnegie's home. They talk. At first, it is a normal interview. Questions about business. Questions about money. Questions about success. But slowly, something deeper starts to appear. Hill notices that Carnegie does not speak only about factories and machines. He speaks about ideas, about thoughts, about the mind, about a philosophy of achievement. After some time, Carnegie looks at Hill and gives him a strange challenge. He says in simple words, "What if you spent years of your life studying the most successful people in the world? What if you talked to them, asked them questions, and tried to discover the rules behind their success? What if you created a clear formula that anyone could use to change their life?" Carnegie tells Hill that he can open doors to many great people, business leaders, inventors, thinkers, people who built big things from small beginnings. But there is a cost. Carnegie will not pay Hill a salary for this work.
No guarantee. No comfort.
Only an opportunity.
Hill has to decide.
Is he willing to give many years of his life to this mission without any promise of reward? According to the story, Hill has only a few seconds to choose. He feels something strong inside his chest. A voice that says yes before his fear can say no. He accepts. That yes is the beginning of Think and Grow Rich. It is the beginning of a 20-year journey. Hill interviews hundreds of successful people. He listens to their stories. He watches their habits. He studies their failures and their victories. From all this, he builds a simple idea. Success is not an accident. It is not only luck. It is not something that happens to special people. Success follows certain principles. If you understand these principles and apply them with faith and action, you can change your life in powerful ways. In this book, Hill calls them steps or principles. Today, I will not use difficult theory. I will tell you these principles like simple pieces of a story. And the first piece, the first step, is desire. Hill says that all achievement begins with desire, not just a weak wish, a burning desire, a desire that lives in your mind day and night, a desire that pushes you to act. Think for a moment about your own life. How many times have you said, I want to be rich. I want to speak English fluently. I want a better body. I want more freedom. We all say these things. We all have soft wishes. But Hill asks a harder question. Do you really desire it? Or is it just a wish you say when you feel bored or jealous? He makes a clear difference between a wish and a burning desire. A wish is like a cloud in the sky. It comes. It looks nice. Then it floats away. A burning desire is like a fire in your chest. You feed it. You protect it. You act because of it. And when life throws water on it,
you do not let it die.
You build it again. Hill's idea is simple but strong. Before you can grow rich, you must decide exactly what rich means to you. You must choose it, define it, see it clearly in your mind. In the book, he focuses a lot on money. He talks about choosing an exact amount of money you want. Not, I want more money, but a clear number. In our story today, I want to open this idea a little more. Rich can mean money, but it can also mean
rich in time,
rich in freedom, rich in love, rich in health, rich in purpose. For you, maybe being rich means having enough money to feel safe, plus the freedom to spend time with your family and the energy to enjoy your days. Whatever it means, Hill would say, make it clear, make it specific, make it real in your mind. So, in this first part, I want you to do a quiet exercise with me. You do not need to say anything out loud.
You do not need to write.
Just listen and imagine. Close your eyes if you can. If you are driving or walking in a busy place, keep them open and just picture it softly in your mind. Ask yourself, what does rich mean to me? Not to your parents, not to your friends, not to social media.
To you.
Imagine one day in your rich life. What time do you wake up? Where do you wake up? What kind of work do you do, if you work at all? How do you feel inside your body? Who is with you? Do you feel peaceful? Do you feel excited? Do you feel useful? This picture you are creating now is not just a dream. It is the beginning of a burning desire. Hill says that desire must become so strong that you are ready to pay a price for it. Not money, but effort.
Time, discipline, change. If you say,
I want to be rich, but you are not ready to learn new skills, to change old habits, to face fear and discomfort, then it is only a wish. If you say, I want to be rich, and you are ready to change your evenings, to study when you feel lazy, to speak English even when you are afraid of mistakes, to start a project even when you are not sure it will work, then it begins to look like a burning desire. In the book, Hill suggests something very practical. He invites you to write a short statement about your desire, in simple words. How much money or what kind of rich life you want.
When you want it by.
What you are willing to give or do in return. And a basic plan for how you will start. Then he says, repeat this statement every day. Read it when you wake up. Read it before you go to sleep.
Why?
Because your mind needs direction. If you do not give it a clear direction, It will wander from fear to fear, from distraction to distraction. But if you give it a clear picture again and again, that picture slowly becomes part of your inner world. It starts to feel normal, possible, even expected. This is the first step of think and grow rich. Not work and grow rich. Not suffer and grow rich. First think. Before any action, there is a thought. Before any success, there is a desire. In my own words, I would say it like this. You cannot plant tomatoes and expect strawberries. If you plant thoughts of fear, failure, and weakness every day, you cannot expect a rich life to grow from them. But if you plant thoughts of clear desire, of courage, of possibility, and you feed them with attention, you give your life a very different seed. Of course, thought alone is not enough.
Hill is very clear about that.
You cannot sit on your bed, think about money, and wait for it to fall from the sky. But thought is still the first key. It is the design of the house before you start to build. It is the map before you start the journey. So, in this first part of our series, I want you to remember one simple sentence from Hill's philosophy. Reset in my own calm, slow English. All great success begins with a clear, burning desire that refuses to die. If you do not feel that desire yet, do not worry. You do not need to force it. Just keep asking yourself gentle questions. What do I truly want? What kind of life would make me feel rich inside? What am I willing to change for that life? As you listen to the next parts of this story, maybe your desire will become clearer. Maybe it will grow stronger. In part 2, we will talk about another core idea from Think and Grow Rich.
Faith.
We will explore how belief in yourself and in your desire can slowly transform simple thoughts into a deep inner certainty, and how that certainty changes the way you act, speak, and make decisions. For now, hold this first key in your heart. Desire is the starting point. Desire is the engine. Desire is the quiet fire that says, I am not finished yet. My life can be more, and I am willing to grow into that more. In part 1, we spoke about desire. Not a weak wish, not a casual I want more money, but a clear, burning desire. A desire that lives inside you like a quiet fire.
Now,
in part 2, we will walk into the second great idea in Think and Grow Rich.
faith.
In Napoleon Hill's world, faith is not only a religious word, it is a mental state, a deep feeling of trust in your desire, a quiet inner voice that repeats, yes, this is possible for me. Desire is the seed. Faith is the water, the sunlight, and the protection around that seed. Without faith, desire dries up when life becomes difficult. With faith, desire survives storms. Let me tell you a story to show you what Hill means. Imagine a young man named Elias. He lives in a small town. His family does not have much money. There is no big business in his area. Most people work in the same simple jobs their parents had. But Elias has a burning desire. He wants to build his own company one day. He does not want to be famous. He does not want a gold car or a giant house. He simply wants independence. He wants to choose his own projects. He wants to decide how to use his time. So, his desire is clear. But then the world begins to speak to him. Some people say, be realistic. No one from here becomes an entrepreneur. Others say, You need money to make money. You have nothing. Sometimes, Elias hears these voices so many times that they start to live in his own head. I am not from the right place. I do not know the right people. Maybe this dream is stupid. This is the moment where desire is not enough. This is the moment where faith must enter. Hill says that faith is created in the mind by repeating thoughts and affirmations until they become a deep belief. At first, your faith is small and weak, like a baby bird. If you feed it helpful thoughts, it grows. If you feed it fear and doubt, it dies. In the book, Hill uses a strong sentence. Faith is a state of mind which may be induced or created by affirmation or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind. In our calm English, we can say it like this. Faith is a feeling inside you that you can build by telling your mind the same strong, positive message again and again. Let us go back to Elias. One evening, after a long day at his normal job, he comes home feeling heavy. He sits at his small kitchen table and stares at the wall. He thinks, "This dream is too big for me." On the table, there is an old notebook. He opens it. On the first page, he has written his desire. I will build my own small company that gives me independence and value. I will do this within 10 years. I will learn skills, save money, and start small projects. And I will not give up when I fail. He reads this sentence slowly. Something soft moves in his chest. He does not completely believe it, but he does not completely reject it either. This moment is important. Faith rarely arrives like a bright light from the sky. It arrives slowly, like a small voice saying, "Maybe it is possible." Hill would tell Elias, "Do not wait for faith to come to you. You must build it. You must talk to yourself intentionally." So, Elias tries something new. Every morning, before he checks his phone, before he opens social media, before he listens to other people's voices, he decides to listen to his own. He takes the notebook. He reads his desire out loud. His voice is quiet at first, a little shy. I will build my own small company. I will gain independence. I will do this within 10 years. I will learn. I will save. I will start. I will not give up. At the beginning, these words feel like a costume. They do not feel like his real identity. They feel like pretend. But Hill's method is simple. Repeat, repeat, repeat. He says that by repeating thoughts and words filled with emotion, you slowly teach your subconscious mind a new belief. Your subconscious mind is like a quiet engine inside you. It does not argue. It does not question. It simply accepts and acts. If you constantly tell it, "I am weak. I will never be rich. I am bad at English. I always fail," it will accept these instructions and design your actions to match them. If you constantly tell it, "I am growing. I am learning. I am building something. I can become rich in my own way," it will accept those instructions instead. So faith, in Hill's world, is not blind fantasy. It is the result of repeated, focused thinking. Now, I want to bring this idea closer to you. Think about your own life again. Maybe your burning desire is not money. Maybe it is to speak English fluently, to travel, to live or study abroad, to build an online business, to help your family. You have this desire. You listened to part 1. You felt something inside.
But then your old thoughts come back.
I am too old. I am too lazy. My memory is bad. My accent is terrible. I do not have time.
These are not small thoughts.
They are little pieces of anti-faith. They are like small hands that quietly turn the light down in your mind. Hill would tell you very clearly, you must take control of this inner conversation. He suggests using affirmations, simple sentences filled with belief and emotion. Not complicated, not poetic, just clear and strong. For example, for money and success, he might say something like, I believe that I will become rich by using my talents and serving others. My desire is strong, my plan is clear, and my faith is growing every day. For you, maybe your affirmation is, I believe I can become fluent in English. I am not perfect, but I am improving every day. I will not quit. The secret is not magic words. The secret is repetition with feeling. If you say these words once, nothing changes. If you say them twice, a little movement. If you say them hundreds of times, over weeks and months, while acting in the same direction, something deep inside you begins to shift. You begin to trust yourself. You begin to expect progress. You begin to see opportunities where, before you saw only walls. Let us go back to Elias one more time. 6 months have passed. Every day, he has read his desire and his affirmation. Every day, he has taken one small action. Watching a business video, reading about marketing, saving a little money, testing a tiny idea online. Has he built a company yet?
No.
Is he rich yet?
No.
But something has changed. One day, at work, his boss mentions that the company needs someone to manage a small side project. It is not a big promotion. It is not a giant opportunity, but it is a chance to learn new skills. 6 months ago, Elias would have thought, I am not ready. I am not good enough.
Now,
without even planning it, he hears himself thinking, this could be a good step for my future business. I can learn from this. His faith slowly built, changes his reaction. He goes to his boss and says, if you think I can do it, I would like to try managing that project. His boss looks at him with interest. I did not know you wanted more responsibility, he says. Elias answers, I do. I want to grow. This small conversation is a result of something the boss cannot see. The daily quiet work of desire and faith inside Elias' mind. Hill would say, faith transforms desire from a weak wish into a quiet expectation. You stop only wanting. You begin to expect that your desire can become real if you keep moving. Now, I want to invite you to a short exercise. If you can, put your hand gently on your chest. Feel your heartbeat. You are alive. You have time. You have space to grow. Now, in your mind, finish these sentences in your own words. My burning desire is, I believe it is possible for me because I am willing to. Maybe your answers are short. Maybe they are not clear yet. That is okay. You do not need perfect sentences. You just need honesty. If you want, you can later write them down. You can turn them into your daily affirmation. Hill recommends reading your desire and your affirmation twice a day. When you wake up,
before you sleep.
He wants you to fall asleep with your desire and faith, living softly in your mind, so your subconscious can work on them during the night. He is like a gardener of the mind.
He says,
Plant the seed. Water it every day with repetition and belief. Do not dig it up in panic to check if it is growing. That last part is important. Many learners plant a seed and then kill it with doubt. They say, I want to be rich. And then right after, this will never happen. They say, I will learn English. And then, I am too stupid. It is like saying to your mind, move forward. And then shouting, stop. Faith is choosing, again and again, to feed one side more than the other. It does not mean you never feel fear. It does not mean you never doubt. It means you do not let fear and doubt be the loudest voices. In Think and Grow Rich, Hill also says that faith is built through repeated self-suggestion. Later we will talk more about that.
For now,
remember this translation into our simple language. Talk to yourself on purpose. Talk to yourself with kindness. Talk to yourself with courage. Repeat the same strong message until you start to feel it. So, what have we learned in this part? Desire is the starting fire. Faith is the invisible wind that makes the fire grow. You shape your faith
by the thoughts you repeat
and the words you say to yourself every day. If you want to think and grow rich, you must also speak and grow strong. Strong in belief, strong in expectation, strong in your relationship with your own future. In the next part, part 3, we will go deeper into the method Hill calls autosuggestion. We will explore how to use words, images, and daily rituals to send clear instructions to your subconscious mind so that it works like a quiet partner in the background, helping you move toward your desire, even when you are not thinking about it directly.
For now,
I invite you to carry one simple sentence with you from this part. My desire is real, and my faith is learning to follow it. If you keep listening, keep repeating, and keep acting, your faith will grow. Elias kept reading his notebook every morning. His small kitchen was still the same. The table, the old chair,
the cheap lamp.
Nothing outside looked rich, but something inside was slowly changing. On one page, his desire was written clearly. On another page, there was a short paragraph he had created for himself. A personal promise, a message to his own mind. I will build my own independent business. I will learn one new skill every month. I will save part of my income. I will start small projects and keep going, even when they fail. I am capable of growing. I am capable of changing my life. He did not know it, but this was exactly what Napoleon Hill called autosuggestion. Autosuggestion is a long word, but the idea is simple. It means that you are always suggesting something to your own mind, through your words, through your thoughts, through the pictures you keep imagining. If you do it without control, you repeat your fears. I cannot do this. I am not good enough. I always stop. Nothing works for me. If you do it with intention, you repeat your desire and your faith. I am learning. I am growing. I am moving towards something. My actions matter. Hill's message is clear. Your subconscious mind does not argue. It listens. It accepts the messages that come to it again and again. Then it starts to act quietly in the background. to make those messages true. Think of your subconscious mind like soil in a garden. If you constantly plant seeds of fear, you grow plants of fear. If you constantly plant seeds of desire and belief, you grow different plants. Plants of courage. Plants of action. Autosuggestion is the process of choosing which seeds you plant. Elias did not understand all this theory. He was not thinking about the word autosuggestion. He was simply trying to protect his desire. Every night, tired from work, he heard the same old thoughts walk through his head. Other people are smarter. You do not have a good education. You will probably fail. Some days those thoughts were very loud. It felt like they were shouting directly in his ear.
But now,
he had something to answer with. He opened his notebook again. He read his promise out loud. His voice was not perfect. Sometimes it shook. Sometimes it felt fake. Still, he read it. I am capable of growing. I am capable of changing my life. At first, his mind answered, "No, you are not." But he kept reading, again and again, morning and night. Slowly, a tiny part of him began to answer differently. Maybe I am. Hill says that autosuggestion works best when your words are connected to a strong emotion. Simply reading cold sentences is not enough. You need to feel them. You need to imagine them as true, even if only for a moment. So, Elias tried something new. He did not only read the words. He closed his eyes and pictured himself walking into a small office that belonged to him. He saw a simple logo on the wall.
he saw a desk. He saw a laptop.
He saw his name on a small card. He imagined sending an invoice to a client. He imagined getting paid for his own work, not as an employee, but as a creator. He felt the emotion of that day.
Pride. Calm.
Freedom. This picture in his mind became a part of his autosuggestion. Now his message was not only words on paper.
It was a movie inside his head.
Hill believed that this kind of mental movie is a powerful tool. When you imagine something with detail and emotion, your subconscious mind accepts it, almost as if it were already real. It does not fully know the difference between a strong mental image and a real experience. So if you play the same image often, your inner world changes. And when your inner world changes, your outer actions follow. Emma, sitting here with you now, also uses autosuggestion. I am not only a voice telling you a story. I am also a kind friend inside your ear, reminding you of something. You are already using autosuggestion every day. When you wake up and check your phone, you are feeding your mind messages. When you repeat old stories about yourself, I always fail. I always quit. I am bad at languages. You are practicing autosuggestion. The question is not, am I using autosuggestion? The question is, what am I suggesting to myself? Napoleon Hill wants you to stop being passive. He wants you to become the writer of your own script, the director of your inner movie. So how can you do that in a simple way? You can use a pattern like this. Decide your clear desire. Write a short, strong statement about it. Read it every morning and every night. While you read, imagine it as if it were already true. Feel the emotion. Then take at least one small action that fits your words. For example, if your desire is to become fluent in English, your statement might be, I am becoming fluent in English. Every day I listen, read, and speak a little more. I enjoy the process. I am able to understand native speakers more and more. You read this slowly. You imagine yourself in a real situation. Maybe you are sitting in a cafe in another country, ordering food in English with confidence. Maybe you are on a video call, talking about your work or your ideas. Without panic, you feel the peace of that moment. You feel the pride. Then you do something in the real world. You listen to an English story for 10 minutes. You repeat a few sentences out loud. You write a short paragraph about your day. Your autosuggestion and your action start to move in the same direction. Hill warns about something important here. If your words and your actions are always opposite, your subconscious mind becomes confused and refuses to believe you. If you say, "I am serious about building wealth," but you always spend more than you earn, your mind will not trust that statement. If you say, "I will learn English," but you never give even 10 minutes to listening or speaking, your mind will not believe you. Autosuggestion is like talking to a child. If you always break your promises, the child stops listening. So the idea is not to have perfect actions, but to have some actions. Small ones, regular ones. Elias understood this slowly. Some nights, he did not have energy for big changes, but he told himself, "If I cannot do something big, I will do something small." He watched one short video about business. He read 3 pages of a book. He wrote down one idea for a future project. These actions were small, but they matched his repeated message. I am building something. I am learning. I am moving. His subconscious mind began to see a pattern. This is not just talk. This man is serious.
Hill believed that
when your subconscious accepts your desire and faith, it becomes creative. You start getting ideas. You start noticing chances that your eyes did not see before. One day, Elias is sitting on the bus. He hears 2 people behind him talking about a problem. They are complaining about a local service that is always late and unprofessional. 6 months earlier, he would have just listened and then forgotten.
now,
A small light turns on inside his mind. Is there a way to solve this? Could this be a small business idea? He takes out his phone and writes a quick note to himself. Problem: bad local service. Maybe offer better version? Research this. This is not magic. It is autosuggestion doing its work, because he has been feeding his mind the idea, I am building my own business. His brain has started to filter the world differently. It looks for business ideas. It looks for problems to solve. It looks for doors that were invisible before. The world outside is the same. The bus is the same. The people are the same. But the lens in his mind has changed. This is what Hill wants for you, too. If your constant message becomes, I am a learner, I am growing, I am moving toward a richer life in my own way, your lens changes. You start to notice a podcast that could help you, a person you could talk to, a free course you could join, a small job or project that could be a step up. Autosuggestion turns your desire into a filter. You begin to see life through that desire. I want to give you a gentle warning. Some people read about autosuggestion and think, so I just repeat nice words and everything will come to me. Hill never said that. He always connects autosuggestion with action,
Study.
and persistence. Repeating, I am rich, while doing nothing different, is empty. Repeating, I am learning English, while never listening, is a lie. But repeating, I am becoming fluent, and then listening for 10 minutes, is powerful. Repeating, I am building wealth, and then saving a small amount each week, is powerful. The power is not in the sentence alone. It is in the connection between the sentence and the step that follows it. So, as you listen to my voice now, ask yourself quietly, what am I telling my mind every day? What is my real autosuggestion right now?
Is it,
I am tired. I cannot. It is too late for me. Or is it starting to become, I am alive. I can learn. I can change my habits. I can create a richer life step by step. You do not need to answer out loud. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to notice. And then start to talk to yourself on purpose. In the quiet moments, in the morning, before sleep, you and your mind, you and your desire, you and the small, strong sentences that you choose to repeat. Elias, sitting at his small table, did not look like a rich man, but inside, his identity was changing. He was no longer just an employee who dreams. He was a future entrepreneur in training. This change in identity did not come from other people. It came from his own repeated words and his own repeated actions. That is the heart of autosuggestion. You decide who you are becoming. You choose the message. You repeat it. You act on it. And slowly, your mind, your habits, and your life begin to follow. Elias did not become a different person overnight. He still woke up to the same alarm. He still walked the same streets to the same job. The same people sat at the same desks. But inside, the way he looked at these things was changing. Before, work was just a place to trade time for money. Now it was also a classroom, a training ground, a place where he could watch, learn, and collect ideas. Napoleon Hill says that desire, faith, and autosuggestion are powerful, but they are not enough. You cannot just sit with a strong desire, repeat positive sentences, and wait for miracles. If desire is fire, and faith is wind, then knowledge and planning are the bricks of the house. Hill makes a difference between two kinds of knowledge: general knowledge and specialized knowledge. General knowledge is wide. It is what you get from school, from random videos, from news, from social media. You know a little about many things. Specialized knowledge is narrow and deep. It is useful information in a specific area that can help you solve real problems and create real value. Hill says, you do not need to know everything. You need to know enough about something that matters. Elias began to see this. One evening, after work, he sat again at his kitchen table, with his notebook open. At the top of a new page he wrote, "What do I actually know?" He felt a little strange.
It was easier to write what he did not know.
He did not know accounting well. He did not know how to design a logo. He did not know how to create a website. He did not know how to manage a big team. But Hill would tell him, start with what you have.
So he tried again.
I know how to talk to customers in a friendly way. I know how to explain things clearly. I know how to solve small problems calmly. I know how our company's service works better than many people here. It did not look like much, but it was a start. Then he wrote a second question. What do I need to learn? He remembered the people on the bus, complaining about the bad local service. He thought of a simple idea. What if I create a small service that is more organized and on time? To do that, he would need to learn how to make a basic website or page, how to track orders or bookings, how to calculate simple costs and profits, how to advertise to local people. This was specialized knowledge. He did not need a university degree for it. He needed focused learning. Hill says that you do not need to keep all knowledge inside your own head. You can use the knowledge of others.
Books, courses,
Mentors,
friends.
employees. You can organize knowledge like a conductor organizes a group of musicians. This idea relaxed Elias. He did not have to become an expert in everything. He just needed to understand enough to make decisions and to ask for help when needed. So he made a small promise to himself. Every week, I will learn one practical thing that moves me closer to my idea. One week, he watched videos on how to build a simple website. Another week, he learned the basics of personal budgeting. Another week, he read about how to talk to customers online. He was not studying for a test. He was collecting tools for future house. While he learned, another invisible force was working quietly with him. Imagination. Hill calls imagination the workshop of the mind. Desire is what you want. Faith is your belief that it is possible. Autosuggestion is how you feed your mind messages. Imagination is where you build models of your future actions. There are two kinds of imagination in Hill's book. Synthetic imagination, where you take old ideas and combine them in new ways. Creative imagination, where new ideas and inspirations come to you, sometimes suddenly, from some deeper place. Elias' idea for a better local service was not completely new. People had done this in other cities. He was using synthetic imagination. He took an old model and imagined it in his own town, with his own style. He sat many evenings with a blank page and asked his imagination simple questions. If I started this today with almost no money, what could I do? What is the smallest possible version of this business? How can I make the first version so simple that I cannot make excuses not to try? At first, his mind gave him only fear. You will fail. People will laugh. You do not have enough money. But he had been training his faith and his autosuggestion. So he answered, maybe I will fail, but I can still imagine. He drew a very basic sketch, a name for the service, a simple logo, a very small area of the city to cover at the beginning. One clear promise, on time or your money back. The drawing was ugly. The plan was not perfect, but it existed. Hill would say that many people stay poor, not because they lack desire, but because they never take the time to sit with their imagination and let it design a plan. They say, I want more money, but they never sit down and give their mind the quiet space
To think of how.
Imagination needs silence. It needs time with no phone. It needs walking without music. It needs staring out of a window. It does not always work when you push it. Sometimes, the best ideas come when you stop trying. One Sunday afternoon, Elias went for a long walk alone. He left his phone at home. He walked through streets he did not normally use. He thought about nothing special at first. Just the weather, the buildings, the people. Then, slowly, his mind returned to his idea. If I had 10 clients, what would my day look like? How would I keep everything organized? What could go wrong? He did not force himself. He just let the questions float. At some point during the walk, a clear thought appeared. I should not start with a website. I should start with one simple social media page and a clear offer. I can build the rest later. This idea felt light, like a key turning in a small lock. He smiled. This was imagination helping him be practical. Hill would call this turning imagination into organized planning. Back at home, Elias opened his notebook. On a new page, he wrote at the top, Plan of version 1. Not perfect plan, not final plan, just version 1.
He wrote, choose a simple name.
Create one social media page. Design one clear image with the offer. Message 5 friends and ask for honest feedback. Ask if anyone they know has this problem. Offer a discount or free first service to get first real experience. This was not a dream anymore. This was not just desire or faith or autosuggestion. This was a plan. Hill says that organized planning is where dreams begin to put on work clothes. He also says something that many people do not like to hear. Most plans will fail at first. This is normal. Your first plan is based on imagination, not experience. So you test it. It breaks. You look at the broken pieces. You learn. You make plan version 2. People without faith see a broken plan and say,
See?
I knew it. I am not meant to succeed. People with faith and understanding see a broken plan and say, Good. Now I know one way that does not work. I am closer to a way that does. Elias understood this only in theory. He had not yet felt it with his body.
He followed his small plan.
He chose a name. He created a page. He made a simple graphic with his offer. He felt very shy when he pressed publish. His heart beat fast. It felt like he was standing on a stage, in front of a huge crowd, even though almost nobody was watching. He sent the page to a few friends. He asked for feedback. Some said nothing. One said, Cool idea. A week passed. Nothing happened.
No clients.
No messages. Silence. His old thoughts attacked again.
See?
Nobody cares. This was stupid. You are wasting your time. This is the point in the story where many people stop. They delete the page. They close the notebook. They say, I tried. But inside they mean, I tried once. Elias sat alone with his disappointment. He wanted to quit, but he had read his desire. He had fed his faith. He had practiced autosuggestion. He had spent time on knowledge and imagination. All of that work did not disappear just because plan version 1 was quiet. He opened his notebook again. He turned to the page that said Plan version 1. Under it, he wrote, What did I do? What happened? What did not happen? What can I change? He realized something simple. He had created a page. He had posted one offer. He had told a few friends, but he had not really talked to anyone about their problems. He had not really listened. His plan was built mostly from imagination, not from real conversations. Hill talks about the need for a mastermind group, people around you who can share knowledge, ideas, and energy. Elias decided that his version 2 plan would include other minds, not just his own. So he sent personal messages to 3 people he knew, who often complained about local services. He did not try to sell anything at first. He only asked questions. What is the biggest problem you have had? What annoyed you the most? What would a perfect service look like for you? They answered. They were happy to talk. He wrote their answers down. He saw patterns. The same problems appeared in each story. Now his plan could grow roots in reality. He adjusted his offer. He changed the words on his page to speak directly to the problems these people had described. This was still small. No big money. No big company. But it was real. Hill would smile at this moment, because this is how thinking and growing rich actually looks in real life. Not a big moment of magic, not a single secret trick. It looks like a person with a desire, who builds faith, who uses autosuggestion, who learns specific things, who imagines possibilities, who makes a plan, who sees the plan fail, who does not quit, who improves the plan again and again. This is not only about business. You can use the same pattern for any desire. For English,
Desire.
I want to understand English speakers and speak confidently.
Faith.
I believe it is possible for me if I keep going. Autosuggestion. Daily sentences. I am improving my English. My ears are learning. My voice is getting stronger. Knowledge. Grammar basics. Common vocabulary. Listening techniques. Imagination. You see yourself in real situations using English. Planned version 1. Listen 10 minutes a day. Repeat 5 sentences out loud. Write 3 simple sentences about my day. Planned version 2. After a month, you look at what worked and what did not, and you adjust. The same engine, the same structure. Sitting at his table that night, Elias did not know how his story would end. But he knew one thing for sure now. He was no longer only wishing. He was thinking and acting. The quiet fire of desire was still burning. Faith was standing beside it. Autosuggestion was feeding it words. Knowledge and imagination were starting to build real walls around it. The house was not finished, but the foundations were there. And that is how Think and Grow Rich looks at the beginning. Not like a castle, but like a small construction site, with a serious worker who refuses to leave. Now, I want to bring everything back to you. Not to Elias, not to Napoleon Hill. To you, right now, with your headphones, your screen, your life. Take a slow breath. Ask yourself, very gently, what is my burning desire? Maybe it is money, to get out of debt, to feel safe. Maybe it is English,
To understand people.
to feel confident. Maybe it is freedom, from a place,
From a job.
from a version of yourself. You do not need a big, dramatic answer. You just need one honest sentence. Then ask, do I actually believe this is possible for me? If the answer is no, that is okay. You have found where your work begins. You do not force belief. You build it with small promises that you keep, with words you repeat, with actions that match those words. Ask next, what am I telling my mind every day?
Is it,
I am tired. It is too late. I am not the kind of person who succeeds. Or is it slowly becoming, I am learning. I am still alive. I am allowed to change. You are not your past stories. You are not your family's limits. You are not your country's average. You are a mind that can think and a heart that can choose what to care about. Napoleon Hill spent 20 years studying rich and powerful people. You do not need to do that. You can look at your own life, your own mind, your own habits, and start where you are. One clear desire, one sentence of faith, one simple autosuggestion, one new piece of useful knowledge, one small plan, one step, then another. You will not see big change tomorrow or the day after, but one day you will sit somewhere and realize, I think differently now. I react differently now. I make decisions differently now. I am not where I used to be. That quiet realization is the true heart of Think and Grow Rich. Not a lottery moment, not a miracle, a life that has slowly changed because a person decided to use their mind on purpose.
so tonight or today?
Whenever you hear my voice, I want you to do something very small. Write one sentence about your desire. Write one sentence about your belief. Write one action you will take this week that fits those sentences. Put it somewhere you can see in the morning and at night. Let it be your first experiment in thinking and growing rich, in your own way, at your own speed. You do not need to impress anyone. You do not need to shout about it online. This journey is between you, your mind, and your future. And I will be here whenever you press play to walk with you in slow, clear English while you grow. Thank you for listening to this gentle summary of Think and Grow Rich with me today. If you enjoyed this story, stay with us for the next one. Every time you listen, learning becomes easier.